Merry Vlogmas. What day is it? Day 3. So it is day 3 of Vlogmas. I think I am just going to record these one day, finish them real quick, and get them out the next day. So this is day 3 for me. We'll see this day 4. I am getting sick. I am definitely getting sick. But enough about me. I wanted to do a quick review. I want to start doing Vertigo comics again. I want to start reviewing them because I kind of got this bug up my butt to review all the new Vertigo comic books that were coming out. And when I didn't, actually I was doing decently well when they started the new titles. There was a slew of new titles coming out under Neil Gaiman, and also I think like 5 or 6 titles coming out, but being spread pretty far out. So there really aren't that many. I should be able to catch up pretty easily, and it'll give me something else to damn do. What I wanted to do, excuse me, is review Lucifer #1. And this is going to be tough, because I am really getting sick, for one. For two, I'm a huge, huge Lucifer fan. More than that, I'm a Mike Carey fan. Mike Carey was the writer for Lucifer, also Crossing Midnight, a few other titles, and also a number of novels, which I really enjoyed. And he has, as near as I can tell, nothing whatsoever to do with this book, which is a shame. I miss... Obviously, I'm reviewing Vertigo titles partially due to Vertigo nostalgia, and I'd rather... I don't think any of the original writers are actually doing any writing. I think Neil Gaiman is more of an overarching supervising editor for his shared world of comic books. It's none of the writers I like, and it's a comic book. It's the writing, first and foremost, that makes it. That said, Lucifer #1 for this new series of Lucifer isn't bad. I mean, it started out, the first half of it kind of had me, this doesn't look like the Lucifer character, this doesn't act like the Lucifer character, it doesn't look like the Lucifer character. What am I looking at? Near the end, it does kind of save itself. It produces a number of... It does the correct thing. It hooks properly, that is to say, has a number of mysteries in it. It's like, why do I want to read the next issue? Well, there's some stuff going on. I mean, briefly, no spoilers, but there's a man whose wife is dying. She has like terminal brain cancer or something like that. And we're very character-driven, which is a big plus for me. Very... yeah, I don't know how to explain this. Very introverted. It's not involving some grand events on a world scale. We're not saving the world anywhere. It's a number of events. It's very cerebral. It's events that are happening to ourselves in our personal lives, in the characters anyway. And that's a more interesting story to me. That's why I read comic books throughout the 90s. Part of the problem is it's a Vertigo comic. Look, it's like this. In a regular comic book, in a normal comic book, in a superhero comic book, the elements are defined very discreetly. They're relatively simple and straightforward. The best stories in comic book stories aren't the ones that are overly complex, but rather add complex elements or complex-seeming elements to very, very simple stories. Darkseid is going to destroy the world. Superman just died. Batman's secret identity is nearly revealed. Robin has been, kidnapped. The X-Men have to face Apocalypse. It's the really, really simple stories, but the complexity is derived from the characters and character interactions. I could actually say the same thing for most of the Marvel movies, thinking about it. With a Vertigo comic, it's all turned on its head. It's all backwards. It's very... complexity is just abounds, and it's nothing straightforward. Not if it's being done properly. A good Vertigo title, you have characters who you're introduced to but don't really understand. I mean, you often have guys who you don't know whether they're the good guy or the bad guy. There sometimes aren't good guys or bad guys. You have ambiguity abounds. You don't really know who people are till much later on. So with starting a brand new series, stuff could go anywhere. Stuff could go absolutely anywhere. And that makes it harder to define. It's how things are in this issue, issue 1. Well, that depends on where they went with this. I mean, where did you take the elements you introduced? What was your plan for it? How well did you execute that plan? Won't know that till much later. Vertigo is notoriously not self-contained. These aren't those kind of stories. So, how is the Lucifer #1? Or more to the point, is it worth buying #2? Yes, I'm going to buy #2 because it had some intriguing stuff. I hope we see some of the characters from the original series, which I really liked. What I've seen so far is not a lot of characters. No one really to latch onto, except Lucifer himself, and he's not himself. So, I can't unabashedly say this is great or crap. I need to see where this is going. But so far, it isn't bad. I'd give it a try. Really, it depends on whether or not you're a big Lucifer fan, the original Mike Carey series, or not. If you are, you'll get more out of this than if you did not. Because if you weren't a Lucifer fan, you don't know who it is, or you do even worse, you didn't even like the original series, you're going to have some issues here. You're going to have some problems. There's little relatable. There isn't a lot of characterization, which is what it needs. I mean, this is issue 1. We're kind of just setting our hooks, as it were. Like, this is the event. We'll find out who these characters are through the next few issues. So, there we are. If you're not a big Lucifer fan, or not a big Mike Carey fan, you might want to hold off. If you are, I would check it out. I liked it well enough. I'm eager to see where the hell the rest of this thing goes. That's it. I'm out.